really the idea with Bergen Trauma Training Center, which is the grant name for what Care Plus has through NCTSN, the goal is to make the entire agency trauma informed, because it's not enough if we just have 3 or 4 clinicians that are trained in trauma modalities. There's no way that those clinicians would be able to see everyone that comes through the door that has some type of trauma. So instead, our focus has really been to touch every area of Care Plus, from the front desk to admissions to therapists to trainers out into the community, to ensure that we're looking at everything with that trauma-informed lens. And Maria and Chris and Sarah and Kellen, they all brought up such great points, you know, regarding being trauma informed. And so the Bergen Trauma Training Center, that's one of the main goals of our grant. Let's make Care Plus trauma informed. But what are some programs, you know, that might speak a little more specifically to trauma services that Care Plus has? Through this grant, we have actually been able to train 80 clinicians thus far in EMDR, so in eye movement desensitization and reprocessing that Maria was discussing. So we have already a small army within Care Plus that's ready to do that sort of specific trauma work. We have several other programs that I want to highlight as well. So we have the STOP program, Stop School Violence Initiative, and this is another training program that aims to really go into our schools and to help them come up with plans of how to handle their students with care, and what that state initiative means in terms of police informing school if something has happened, a potential ACE with a child, and how we can help that school handle those concerns to make that interaction more trauma informed. We also have the Trauma Recovery Center. This is a very specific wraparound service. You know, Kellen was mentioning the need for wraparound services, and specifically with trauma survivors, yes, we need to meet them where they are. We have to go into the community, we have to go to their homes, we have to meet them at the Dunkin' Donuts, whatever works for them, because they may not be able to come through our door, and that doesn't mean that we shouldn't serve them. And so the Trauma Recovery Center is specific for victims of violent crimes, to do just that, meet them where they are, offer therapy, offer case management, offer psychiatry, all of those different services. Obviously, Care Plus has a huge addiction recovery program, a lot. We're in many counties working with our substance population, and Sarah mentioned this can be a concern for police officers that are struggling with potentially PTSD, but also just with folks that are not law enforcement. We know that it can go hand in hand, substance use and abuse, as well as trauma. So we really work a lot with our addiction folks to kind of help out with that lens.